Hi guys, I am here with your Christmas story for our Christmas story tonight on Christmas Eve. Let's start first with our Advent calendar, and that will be for December 24th, 2020. And it says, "Listen for the angels." Listen for the angels, guys. Alright, let me start by reading a poem. I probably read it before, but I thought it would be good for tonight. This poem is by J.R.R. Tolkien, and it is called Noel. Grim was the world and gray last night. The moon and stars were fled. The hall was dark without song or light. The fires were fallen dead. The wind in the trees was like to the sea, and over the mountains' teeth it twistled bitter cold and free, as a sword leapt from its sheath. The Lord of Snows upreared his head, his mantle long and pale, upon the bitter blast was spread, and hung over hill and dale. The world was blind, the boughs were bent, all ways and paths were wild. Then the veil of cloud apart was rent, and here was born a child. The ancient doom of heaven sheer was prickled with distant light. A star came shining white and clear, alone above the night. In the dell of dark, in that hour of birth, one voice on a sudden song. Then all the bells in heaven and earth together at midnight rang. Mary sang in this world below. They heard her song arise, over mist and over mountain snow, to the walls of paradise. And the tongue of many bells was stirred, in heaven's towers to ring, when the voice of mortal maid was heard, that was mother of heaven's King. Glad is the world and fair this night, with stars about its head, and the hall is filled with laughter and light, and fires are burning red. The bells of paradise now ring with bells of Christendom, and Gloria, Gloria we will sing, that God on earth is come. Alright guys, and this story is by Tanya May Event from New Jersey, and it is called Sweet Tea, Sweet Times. I like that tea bowl, that picture. What do you guys think? Isn't that cool? I'd like to have one of those glass jugs. A southern tradition makes its way north. When I think of Christmas, I think of family. Preparing for the holidays brings back so many memories of my favorite childhood gatherings with all my siblings and cousins in one place at the same time in New Jersey. There's nothing like the old Christmases when your grandparents were here. Those were the best. The lights are flickering again. The weather's really bad outside right now. Memories like the tree topped with our brown-faced angel in white, and the sweet tea my Aunt Chrissy made to welcome everyone together in celebration of the birth of our Savior. There's no better time to be a child. The dismal bell at school on the day before Christmas Eve kicked off the festivities. I could hardly wait to get home. I'm one of 5. There's Tyrone, Terry, the twins, Tina and Tony, and me, Tanya. On December 24th, we'd scatter to different parts of the house to wrap in secret what we had chosen for that night Pollyanna gift swap. The regional equivalent of a white elephant exchange. All the cousins gave a gift and got one in return, but the game's stringent rules made it unforgettable. The cousins drew names out of a hat after Thanksgiving dinner, and my siblings and I hit the mall soon after. If I pulled out the name of one of my female cousins or a sister, choosing a gift was simple. A bracelet, earrings, socks, or a nice scarf. If I got one of my male cousins or my brother, I'd usually settle on a big bag of candy or a game, something he wouldn't have bought on his own. So much harder to buy for boys, I think, anyway. The $10 that Mom and Dad gave each of us was our spending limit. We clutched our gifts tightly on the drive to the home of Aunt Joni, my mother's eldest sister. Mom was the youngest of 5 daughters, and throughout my childhood, Christmas Eve dinner was always held by at Aunt Joni's. We'd rush inside, eager to see who was already there. Every time the doorbell rang, we'd run to answer it. During all of our running around, ducking hugs and kisses from aunts and uncles, we might slow us down. We could smell dinner cooking, good southern soul food. Turkey with stuffing, a pork roast and big ham, potatoes, carrots, rice and gravy, greens, string beans, canned cranberry sauce, macaroni and cheese, and Aunt Chrissy's sweet iced tea, just waiting in its elegant crystal punch bowl. It's really pretty. I once asked Aunt Chrissy, why sweet tea for Christmas? Iced tea wasn't something we came across often in the North, especially in the winter. She told me it was the most special drink her big family could afford in those early years. Since then, it had simply become tradition. My maternal grandparents had moved from Georgia to New Jersey during the Great Migration in the early 1940s. They wanted to escape the segregation and discrimination they faced and searched for better economic opportunities. After my mom and her sisters moved out of my grandparents' house and got settled with families of their own, they all made their homes within 15 minutes of where they'd grown up. It was no wonder to me that the bonds of our African American family were so strong. In college, I minored in Black American Studies and read variously about the chattel slave experience of forced family separation. I learned that enslaved people who worked outside a home were often given passes during the holidays and might be granted permission to visit family members who were within traveling distance. But besides Sunday visits that allowed relatives to come to stay connected as best they could, the week between Christmas and New Year's Day was the only time family reunions between separated relatives were even remotely possible. My family believed in keeping close. Before we'd dig into our Christmas Eve meal at Aunt Joni's, we'd stand in an unbroken circle, the grown-ups bowing their heads, respectfully, we kids peeking out between half-closed eyes, wondering if the prayer would ever end. Then we could fill up our plates and go for the sweet tea. We had a dip of delicate teacup into a big punch bowl and pour a serving into our own glass. One of my aunts would put a towel under the punch bowl so we'd make less of a sticky mess. Still, we felt very grown up serving ourselves. After dessert, we finally got to our Pollyanna gift exchange that left us ready to settle in front of the TV to watch a Christmas movie or play party and board games. And we still had Christmas morning at home to look forward to, dashing downstairs for the first glimpse of the presents Mom had sorted into 5 piles, one for each of us. This brings back so many memories. We'd always have Christmas Eve at Granny's house with everybody, and then we'd have Christmas morning as well with just, us. Much has changed since then. Christmas Eve gatherings are at my house now, but we are never without Aunt Chrissy's sweet tea. She was the second eldest of the 5 daughters, the only one who didn't marry or have children. She took care of my grandparents in their later years, took up hosting our Sunday family dinners, and was always available to help anyone who needed it. She remains in charge of the sweet tea. It's the cornerstone of our Christmas celebration. And sugar is only the beginning of its sweetness. And here's the recipe if you'd like to make Aunt Chrissy's holiday classic. 12 bags of black tea, 2 cups of sugar, mint leaves and or lemon slices optional. Bring 4 cups of water to a boil into a medium sauce pot. Turn off heat and leave sauce pot on hot burner. Place tea bags in pot individually, submerging in hot water while leaving strings exposed. Steep for 20 minutes. Add 2 cups of sugar to 2 cups of water in a small saucepan over medium-low heat, stirring with a wooden spoon until all sugar has fully dissolved. Remove tea bags, squeezing the liquid out of each bag into the sauce pot. Add sugar water solution to tea in sauce pot and stir. Pour tea mixture into a gallon pitcher or bowl. Add 10 cups of water and stir to mix with tea. Chill for serving later or add ice for immediate enjoyment. Add lemon slices and or meat leaves if desired. It makes 1 gallon and it takes 40 minutes. And here's a picture, if you can see it, of some of the family. Alright guys, so that was our Christmas story for tonight. I hope it touched your hearts. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys back here again tomorrow on Christmas with the last Christmas story. Good night, guys.